I haven't been coming on a lot because I've been doing a lot of research and getting ready for our next stage. All right, we get this ready. We didn't put any that ready to go on that side. Get that to fire up. I've been doing a lot of research on buildings because, as I told you before, we get this grant coming through for a company. We should be able to get it with no problem. I want a bigger place to work at. And this place is definitely going to be kept off the radar because we've had problems in the past of people doing weird stuff. And a lot of stuff we're going to be working on anyway. It's going to be a little bit top secret, so we're not going to be showing off a lot of stuff. You're going to see a lot of videos pop up marked private because we're going to be working on some pretty interesting stuff for companies. All right, let me see. As I told you before, we're doing both. We're doing both companies and customers. Right now, my buddy's working on the second site right now. He's got remote control access to the site, so he's in there working on some stuff. While I'm over here working on the other site, and he's one of the guys that are going to be coming on board with our company to make it to our next stage. We got our, they have a business program, and we became eligible for it. So, grace of God blessing us to be able to get that. So, yeah, we are moving out and moving on as a way of saying that I want to do offline sales, and I want to do online sales. I already do online sales. I want to do offline sales, and I want more. Let's see, how can you say, exposure to my products? Because online, we can only show so much off. That's why we do a lot of videos to show you every angle of what our products do. But offline is a whole different world. We can put in our showrooms. We can have people come in and see this stuff by the masses. That's why I went down and got my Ventures license. So now I can go to the expos and shows. Every show, everything they have that comes down here through Allentown, we are going to be there for it to show off our technology. Because this stuff is absolutely incredible, and I can't wait. And on top of that, not only that, when you see our stuff in expos and shows and stuff, you see the wows and how amazed people are with the technology. You will see the level of jealousy that we've received online over individuals that were extremely upset by our work. YouTube. So, in this demonstration, basically, showing you the benefits that our products have over a white surface. Now, for those who are saying, hey, it's a white piece of paper, I've been to this already. I've done this, actually did an entire video on this, basically showing high-end, expensive, certified screens and everyday white screens that we have matched white sheets, bed sheets. I've matched tablecloths. I've matched t-shirts. I've matched paper, anything to a white surface. White is white. That's all to it. Nothing when you match 3 different versions of a white surface, neither one of them are going to give you a higher contrast or higher color. They all do the same thing. They're the same thing when it comes to gray paints. It's the same thing. All right. And if we're saying, what people say, what about blacks paints? Well, that's why we have something called black versus black. That's why we do all those tests. So we can basically back up our product doesn't do anything that anybody else does. And if you don't have those tests, well, then you can't make that claim. That your product's different. So let's go with colors. That's what I have. We're going to do colors today. We need light in here because we're in here. We're too dark. We have lights off and on, but I don't want to be in this environment. Lighting, that is not going to work for me. Need more lights. So bring in the big boys. So lighting we like to be in 24,000 to the ceiling. This is when I advise that anytime anyone's doing any form of demonstrations on any form of screen, they have to be in full max lighting. Why? Because this is where tricks go on. They turn the lights out, and you get it and turn the lights on, and you find out for yourself that, hey, this stuff doesn't work the way it's supposed to. Red screen. So we had the people come over, and we had to do the same demonstration, just like this. They're sitting in a dark environment, trying to convince them that a screen's going to work when they just came out of a dark environment. That doesn't work well. So you can see the massive benefits that our technology gives over white surface. Mind, the key surface you're going to have to be able to show a mass improvement on, it's going to be white. Because that's the majority of screens you will bump into. Hotels, restaurants, wherever you go, even Disney, they all have white screens in there. And they have white screens in there. By the time that thing popped on, then I'm coming in and check that out. By the time white screens come into play, you have to understand. I say that light clicked on, it got brighter in here, and the screen still maintains. The screens are designed to absorb a ton of light. I like that. That's pretty cool. That little delay feature. Because in most people that would have happened to, they would have screamed on camera and lost their mind because their screen wasn't able to handle that kind of lighting. But our screens can handle that much lighting, so that doesn't make any sense. It doesn't bother us in any way whatsoever. So anyway, with that being said, yeah, you're going to have to do this in a full lit environment. If you're not doing this in full lit environment, now mind, I said we're going to challenge people on contrast. We're going to challenge you on ambient light rejection technology, which means if you're in a controlled environment and you're doing these demonstrations in the dark, that means you have lied to consumers. Because what happens when the consumer turns their lights on in their environment? They're not in your environment. Your environment's rehearsed. What happens when they go in their own environment and they turn lights on? What's going to happen to the screen? See, there you go. I'm going to be posting some of my customers' inside demonstrations showing you that they can operate in fully lit environments without the worry of the screen washing out and fading. And yes, we have commercial demonstrations. Actually, I got a couple more I'm going to be doing this week. I'm going to be going into commercial sites showing off the technology. We did it outside already. Might as well go inside and have some fun too. All right, so as you can see, red is red. That's the way it's supposed to be. It's not supposed to be washed out or faded. Blue screen. And if you're watching these demonstrations, as I said before, and it's in a dark environment where they're doing this, total complete fail. We're going to do each one in sections. So we're going to do colors today. Tomorrow we're going to do black levels. Do gray and white screen, see black levels. This is what I have to explain it in these videos, or when people come in, even when in my showroom, I got to explain the same thing I have on camera, same talk I'll have there. So you guys can see blue doesn't pick up at all, period. Now for some people saying, well, what about your projector? My projector is a Christie LW400. Projector 720p was discontinued in 2012. So this projector right here would cost you roughly under $100. That's what it would cost you. I got mine for about $50. I actually own two of them. So one was 60, one was 50 because one had an extended zoom lens on it. But either way, it's $50. So if you think that they tell you at the end of the day you have to spend more money for a more expensive projector to fix the problem, they just lied to you. Because again, it's still not going to help you. You just got a more expensive projector, still got the same problem. Let's see, let's go with green screen. Green screen. I should say green projection screen. It could have just came up as green screen. There you go. And this is why they advise you to calibrate. Calibrate, 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 calibrate. We're going to have some very important topics on our AVS forums over there. We're going to be talking about calibration. Is calibration really required? It's not required. It really isn't. The screen is having the issue. Your projector is not having the problem. Let's go check out purple. Purple screen. There's purple. Now, biggest lie they tell you when you buy a projector, when you order to get a white screen with it, they tell you that the projector will fix the problem of your white screen. I got told that lie myself with the BenQ MS800. That projector, people sitting on the side of the box, you know, outside, get this beautiful, perfect screen. That's what you're going to read. The projector is going to do all the work for you. Lie. That's not going to happen. And then when you get it and it doesn't work out, where are you going? You're going to forum sites. And forum sites are telling you, calibrate. Another lie. Not going to happen. Let's go over to, let me see. Oh, let's check out orange. Orange screensaver. Get orange in there. Oh, we got orange over here. Let's take this orange. I'll take that. Now with a commercial, orange screen savior. It says saver, it says saver. So I got to be pretty soon at some outdoor expos. I can't wait for. I can't wait to explore because everybody's going to have white screens over there, and I've seen them already. I've been to these expos already. I've seen how these screens pull up. They don't read jack out there. So our technology, oh, you're going to make a bundle out there. I told you we're engineering technology for expos. So your products. You can make them on the invisible screens. You can have them on the black screen. You can have a black invisible technology we have. We got these fluorescents coming out. This is designed to make your product look absolutely amazing while you're in a trade show. Now keep in mind, when you develop technology for a trade show, it doesn't have anything to do with home theater. I can be anywhere for a boat show, weddings, anything. Baby clothes will make a difference because our technology is there to make their products look good. So that keeps us always in business. I have to be to extend that your product goes everywhere. There we are with the orange screen. Neon orange screen. That's a little more deeper than that. That's a little more yellow than orange. No, I don't want to hear that. Can we get to a short commercial? I'll take a short commercial. There we go. There we go. There's orange right there. Doesn't look quite so appetizing, does it, on the white screen? Now, if I were to contact a company and I were to say, hey, look, I have this projector, the Chrissy LW400. You know, they're going to advise me to spend money for a 4K projector for their screen. Well, if you want to pair it right with this particular screen, we advise you go 4K. Why? You want me to go 4K? Because at the end of the day, that's going to make your screen look better. It's going to cost me more money at the end of the day. That is going to happen. But it's going to make your screen look better. How come we can't do this at 720p? I got a Chrissy LW400. How come I can't use that? That's not the type of projector you want to use with that. You want to use something that's going to give you more contrast, more up-to-date projector. That's what you're going to need. Yeah, to fix your problem. Because I'm using this right now. I'm not having any issues. Which I can't wait to go to these shows where these people have these projectors. I can have this nice conversation with them again. Pretty much you won't be the same person. But I'm curious what they would say. All right, we're going to go from here. We did yellow, we did red. Oh, we got some pink over here. Definitely want to check out some pink. Now, see, these colors are very, very important. Now, the reason why I show you it with the solid colors first, so you can get the full absorption of it all. Because what happens is, usually when you do these demonstrations, ambient light controlled environment, high-powered projectors, calibrated machines, and then they'll go in and they'll put something on that'll blend everything together so you can't tell left to right or front to bottom, or top to bottom. There you go. They blend it all in. You need to see solid images first. You can see exactly how much your projector is losing. Now, like I said before about this particular model projector, at the heyday of this projector had a whopping 3,000 to 1 contrast, which was considered to be outstanding at that particular time. And this projector was cheated. Why are the 720p cheated projectors? Because these projectors were produced on white screens. So for the company, Chrissy, who made this projector, keep in mind, I love your products, but when you made this projector, did you understand the full potential of what your machine could actually do if you put it on a proper screen? You shortchanged it, because that projector does incredible images. So it is the Epson Powerlight S6, which I have, and I paid $16.25 for that projector. Or any of these other projectors I have here, I paid for it $200. Yep, there you go. So when people have gray screens, and they're stuck in these really dark environments, my question is, what's the difference between your gray screen and me buying something at Home Depot, which we've been to this already? Which one's going to give me better black levels? So I'm going to run that test. We got some refusal under the table. I got some other gray screens coming in, including Goose Screen. Let's see how much gray paint comes close to these particular screens. Are you really getting what you paid for? So we've got a lot of stuff to talk about, a lot of stuff, a lot of topics. Even got a podcast coming out about this. We're going to blow this thing to the roof. We're not leveling the playing field. We're going to completely vary this thing. We're going to put it all out there in the open so everybody can know everything about what's been going on in the home projection field and how much you've been lied to. See, the object is to jump on Mr. Bird at the end of the day and keep him quiet. But again, that's not going to happen. I'm going to basically talk about everything. And I'm going to expose a lot of stuff too. And a lot of people like Fernando, biggest scammer on YouTube, and his little ring of scammers who were involved in all that nonsense, which are going to be taken to court, and you'll get a chance to see it in court documents about what went on in court. Basically ripped a lot of people off, making them believe that his paint did these special things, and they did nothing at all. This is everyday house paint. That's what you purchase. Mind you, we have hobby paint under the desk. I can't get any more scammy than that. Then we send you back your own paint. Not about you today, but just to say, we sent you back your own paint using your own tutorial video. You can't get any more crystal clear, transparent than that. Can't. Because you could easily say, honestly, well, you didn't use the right paints. We used hobby paint. You still refused it. You could have backed it up by saying, hey, blah, blah, blah. But that's for another time. Because like I said, we're getting ready to go to court for that. We're getting set up the court for that. All right, let's move on to this mess. So, as I said before, white screens, the biggest lie on the face of the planet. Now, again, when you go buy a projector, I watched one time in Best Buy, I watched a guy sell a woman an Epson 800, LS 800, yeah. that big, huge projector, and get her a white screen to pair with it, and told her at the end of the day that she's going to pick up these beautiful colors and contrast and blah, 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 blah. I got a customer who actually, he's in one of our customer showcases, who had that projector, who has that projector, and he had it on an Epson projection screen, and he got nothing out of it. Of course you're not getting anything out of it. Now let's go with slow color changer. Slow color changer. Gonna be a great day. Now the slow color changer shows random colors pushing through. Random colors, random color, random colors. Now key thing, customers, when we work on the other site, they are going to put in a section to help you out. You're a noob, you're buying for the first time. Who made that? Screen paints for newbies. You know better than that. You never should have a Facebook page stating that, Fernando. You do, though. I'm going to leave it at that. Go to the blacklist, check it out for yourself. You'll figure out exactly what he's all about. Newbies. Yeah, you rip off newbies. That's what you do. You're a rip off artist. Mind you, talk is cheap, right? I'll see you in court. And you can talk to a judge and you explain to him that whole situation in there. So we'll see you in court soon. But anyway, let's move on. Yeah, because we're taking we're taking his company to court. Even though he dissolved, I was talking to a buddy of mine, and he was saying it doesn't make a difference if you dissolve the LLC. That's just the LLC, but he can't dissolve it. There's problems with his LLC. The business is still there technically. We have documents on all the things that were going on. Now, if he deleted all this before we got the hands on those particular pieces of evidence, then he was clear, but he's not. So I got to answer for all that. But anyway, newbies. No, we're going to have a section on there for the projector community on what to look for when you buy a screen, what to look for when you buy for projectors. They can't even point out how to buy proper venue projectors because they know nothing about venues. How to build 235. Oh wait, we have all that on the site. We have an info page on there. How to build 235.1 levitating screens, operating different forms of spray cannons, hacks on spray cannons. We got all that stuff on there because we have experience in that field. All right, so if you are buying for the first time, first thing you ask for, batch number verification, which is extremely important. It shows the product is being tested before it's shipped to you. Request test of the product, and I mean lengthy tests. You need to see roughly around 20 to 30 tests of the product being tested before it was sold to you. Because you want to make sure your stuff is tested. You want to make sure you don't end up like the customers of this fellow who went around and bought this paint. And again, mind you, even the stuff he gave away for free, he couldn't back up. But even worse, his stuff matched house paint. And had a policy that said if it lands on your property, it's yours. If you open it up, it's yours. It's your money at the end of the day. So that's the problem you're going to have there. Make sure they have a proper, sometime exchange policy or policy that's going to allow you to be able to get your money back. Or some way be able to exchange it for something better. But ask for batch number verification, which is extremely important. Make sure it's tested, make sure it's guaranteed. Mind you, it's your money, it's your time that you're wasting to put on that screen. You want to make sure you get what your money's worth and your time is worth. Another thing you need to ask for, lights on demonstrations. You need to see demonstrations in fully lit environments. If these demonstrations are being done in dark environments, then you're being ripped off. If they're telling you to calibrate, you're being ripped off. If they're telling you that you have to use using high-powered 4K projectors in demonstrations, you're getting ripped off. Because say, okay, somebody spends about $5,000 for a projector, and they set it up, and you have roughly $100. That's what you have, $100, or maybe $200-300. Maybe you spend let's say $500 for your projector. You spend $500 for your projector, and you turn around and you don't get the same image. You don't get the same image because there's a massive difference between, especially on gray and white, between a 5,000 lumen projector, a high-end projector versus a low-end projector. There's a massive difference. I don't know about anybody else. I can't vouch for when it comes to black technology because we did those tests. Or for them to make that statement, they would have to make those tests. But you have to make sure all that stuff is tested. Now, keep in mind, you may run on YouTube all you want, because we see the ones who come in here, they are for cheating and robbing and stealing from people. That's why they leave the channel. You'll notice you'll see them pop in and pop out. You do know that when these videos upload, right, that people can actually see you at the bottom popping in and out. They can see that. So the ones that pop in and out are the ones that basically are guilty of these crimes of ripping off mass scams against customers. So keep in mind that I'm going to be preaching this in every single expo, every single trade show, every single showroom I'm going to be at. I want to prepare customers offline to shop online on how and what to look for when it comes to good quality projection screens and projectors. So you can run all you want on YouTube. You're going to be broadcasted everywhere. And mind you, I have multiple forum sites. I also have multiple sites for basically for debates on screens and so forth. It's all going to be out there, all out in the open. All right, so let's show you. White screen, as we saw, nothing at all, period. All right, let's turn out the lights. I get this one a lot from customers who say, well, hey, look, I want to be in the dark anyway. What's the point of me basically needing a black screen? I don't need a black screen. I'm going to be in the dark. I'm really not going to see a difference. That's the benefit of our technology gives you. So we had customers coming here, or people of business coming here, and also customers, and we turn the lights out. They want to see it. They ask it right from the door. Well, what's the benefits with the lights out? What's the benefits with the lights on? Massive difference. So if you have to turn your lights off to beat a white screen, you failed from the door. The reason why they turn the lights out, when you saw in the demonstration, benefit of a white screen versus a gray screen, and you've seen the person turn out the lights on each side, you know why? Because your screen can't operate in a fully lit environment, which means your screen will diminish. And because it will diminish and they need to show an improvement on their screen, they turn the lights out, which means you failed already from the door. If I own a company or an establishment, I'm already in the dark already. That's a big problem I have. I'm in the dark with a high-powered machine. Why in the world, if I come into your environment, you're going to turn the lights out? You just stuck me in the same place I just came out of. That's what I'm trying to fix. That's like replacing a flat tire with a flat tire. You didn't improve anything. It's just the same thing. Now, see how I talk at the end of the day? Business. I know how to talk business. I'm a businessman. So we can come in here, turn the lights out, projector in eco mode. Still, our technology has a high advancement over a white screen. So even if you're in your dedicated theater room, and you think because you're in a dark environment, and you think a white screen is going to be sufficient, it's not going to be sufficient. And the reason why a gray screen will never be sufficient, because it can't read black, which I can't express that enough. I don't even know how that even started to be. Well, actually, yeah, it had to produce better than the white screen. That was the era was fighting against the white screen. But then we had screens that were much darker than a gray screen. They were more expensive. They were certified. And there was us, because we're basically darker than certified. We're actually black. So if you bought a gray screen, you also failed, because you can't read black. And if they try to tell you, well, black's not, oh, come on. You're going to tell me black's not important. Really? It's not important. Why do they put it on a projector and charge you for it if it's not important? All right, there we go. Lights out. Let's go with red screen. Repeat. Get solid colors back in again. You should be seeing demonstrations like this every time you see any form of projection screen. Lights on, lights off. None of that whole lights behind the back of the screen, that Christmas light nonsense effect. No. Lights on, literally. Because if we get your hands on your stuff, you know where you're going at. It's going to be in this environment. When we get the new unit, we got a unit going in there that's 50,000 lumens in that environment. Literally, it's that much light in there. It's twice what we've actually, twice what we have in here. We're building the room for it. So we stick you in there, you're gone. Your screen just whoop. Won't even pick up in there. And projectors don't generate the jack in that section. We're trying to mimic sunlight. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to build homes that powerful, that much light to see how much your screen can absorb. So there we go. Red. Basic red. Blue screen. Now the only people who get upset on our channel about this, customers. Why would customers be upset about that? What customer would be upset about a company testing their brakes and a crash zone? Who would get mad over that? Oh, why would they test them? I'm looking forward to having a car accident and losing my life. Who says that? No. People who do false demonstrations on products do not like our demonstrations. Because now the customer will go back fully loaded and go back and say, hey, I saw Mr. Bird do such and so, can you do the same thing yourself? You know what they're going to say to you? Oh, those demonstrations are fake. That's exactly what they're going to say to you. I bet you bar none. Keep pressing on them. Keep putting pressure on them. Ask them over and over again, I want to see what the light's on. That's how Fernando ended up doing the network grade 773. You know, we asked him for a solid year to do that test, and he refused it. You know how it was done? Customers pressured him. Because you know what happened? The customers would do the test themselves, and that's what they were doing. They were going to Home Depot, on Sherwin-Williams, they were buying the paint, they were doing it themselves, they were replying back to him, hey, this stuff is coming out matching, fix it. And that's why he came on camera and tried to do it himself. And what did he do? He matched, as we told you. That ticked a lot of people off, you know that? There you go. Now, for those people who are saying today, why do you choose him in conversation? He's a poster child of it all. He's a perfect poster child. You go to the blacklist, you will see the research we've done on this guy. It's staggering how much stuff we dug up on this individual on the different levels of scamming he's done in payments. Now, as I said before, for those who want to say, well, what about me? It's a contract. Sign it. You got $1 million laying around? You want to lose some money? Take us to court. See what happens. See, we're the only ones who can make that statement. No one else can make that statement. Because I know all the secrets about all these different screens out here. I've tested all your stuff. I've tested your stuff off camera. I know a lot of stuff about your products. I know what they can do and what they can't do. How many live demonstrations do we do compared to everybody else doing test demonstrations live? Name one company that does live demonstrations on all their testing. There isn't any, right? It's only us. There you go. We know your secrets. So that's why we put it out there. Go ahead. Take us to court. They're scared to. I mean, the big companies will step over that line because they already know what we're designed to do. So with that being the case already, if we challenge you, you're in a lot of trouble because we know your stuff. And I've done these tests on your products. Now, as I said before, certifies are way better than gray paints any day of the week. If a gray screen ever comes up, especially paint, comes up and tells you they're equal to certified, they lie through their teeth. There's no way in the world. No. In order for you to say that you beat a certified screen, how many video demonstrations you have to show doing this? I've been doing it for years. So if you don't have any demonstrations of you taking out one of these certified screens, that means you're lying. Let's see. Purple screen. I got that song called G in my head now. From Aerosmith. I like that song. Let's see. We want to go ahead. Blue. We did blue already. Alright. Just random picking stuff. 4K snow screensavers. We like doing these. These are fun for us. Mm-hmm. I love showing off white levels because it's so much fun. Where, if you notice with the gray screens, they can't stand showing off contrast levels in fully lit environments. I wonder why. They won't even do them outside. This is another big problem for some people. We had some people go on YouTube, made some very nasty comments about my company. You said my products came up so dark, they were unwatchable next to a gray screen. That's a white surface. Mind you, we catch you in this. Some of you already are caught in this. This is going to cost you a lot of money and some serious time. We take that to federal court. Federal court, we're requesting a 30-year prison sentence for that one. A year to 30, and anywhere in between that area, that's what we want. And then make a difference, and you get 2 years, 5 years, you're going to get some time out of it. So you know, you're not getting probation. It's not going to happen. Because a lot of stuff went on. A lot of people were involved with trying to take down my business. And because of that, we want the judge to use you as an example to make sure others don't do it. So anyone who get caught with this, you're going to be used as an example. You know how that works out, right? All right. That's going to be scary. Well, let's get to Snow Wolf over here. See, because you don't want to do the work. That's what happens when people don't want to do the work, and they rather let's just tear him down. And then that way, people won't believe him, and we can continue ripping people off. Now look what you're in trouble. Going to take you to court, going to clean your clocks, and you got possible jail time coming up. And even worse, going to challenge your companies in court, which means there's even more jail time. See, you got to be careful about the people you approach in life. Till then, where are your tests? Oh, I forgot, they're not in business anymore. Well, there you go. That tells you right there. Oh, look at Wolfie over there. Snow Wolfie. Now, beautiful thing about this is, as our technology is not only reading the white level, but it reads a 100% black level, which means Wolfie's nose is 100% black, not gray. Like I said, I got companies I will be challenging at the end of the year, big companies, small companies. Are you really seeing black levels? Are you lying on camera? Can't say you see black. You technically don't see black. So specification sheets better get the change in before that date comes up, because again, I don't care how big your company is, our company will challenge you in court. We make black technology. We breathe 100% black. You don't. So you don't have a right to say it. We're challenging you on. So what you're going to have to figure out is what shade of gray you actually bring up. Now, what's going to suck for some companies is the fact that they went out and did all this talking, da 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 da, and now they sold enough of this stuff on da 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 da, and really didn't have the da da da. We have it, not you. That's gonna be interesting. There's Snow Wolfie. Let's go back and back it up. Let's put our lights on, because that's easy to do with the lights out. Snow Wolfie. Now, was colors and was white level supposed to be involved with this? No. We do this for fun. Why not? We do this for fun. This is for fun for us. I never added this for the video. The video was supposed to be about color. We did this because it's fun. Like, when you do demonstrations, you're supposed to do demonstrations where you're supposed to show contrast levels. In every gray screen demonstration, I should literally be seeing a fully lit environment showing contrast levels. But we don't see this. We see a whole lot of color. We see contrast levels when they turn out the lights. And that's basically about it. Majority of the videos are rehearsed. So they know what time the contrast levels are going to show up. What time it's going to show up. They're reading the bottom of that counter. So when it shows that contrast levels are about to kick in, the first they say, hey, let's have a look and see what it looks like with the lights out. Anybody ever seen a gray screen with this much lighting, or white screen anywhere with this much lighting in the environment showing up a contrast level? No, of course you don't. The screen doesn't work. But sad thing about it is the consumer will find out when they get home. Now I guarantee you, when you contact them, you ask them, my screen's really washed out, I really can't see the colors correctly, how do we fix this? They're going to tell you where you're going to have to calibrate. And for some of you don't know, like, what's calibration? Now, some may lie to you and tell you that it's already in your projector. No, that's called adjustments in your menu. Calibration is going to require some software. That's what that's going to require. Someone did try to go on YouTube and lie on that one instead of it's adjusting in your projector. No. When your projector says these are manual controls for adjustment, it doesn't say these are controls for calibration. Now, you may have some areas in the projector that may allow you to calibrate certain things, but not color. Not on that level you won't. You'll be getting software for that. You know, the sad thing about it is, even if your projector is calibrated, it still won't help. As you saw in the demonstration with the other fellow with the ultra short throw P2 projector who has a calibrated machine, he's still in the dark. So that means it doesn't work. Contrast is not going to read. Oh, let's get this snow right here. We're just doing it for fun. Because we can do it. That's why we do it. I get asked this question all the time. Anytime we come in here, what's the white levels? We show them. Now, if I go to your booth and you got a gray screen, and I say to you, what's contrast on the screen look like? If you hit that light switch, I'm walking out your booth. No, I want to see it with the lights on. Can we turn the lights on? Matter of fact, can we get it out of this booth? Can we take it out there where all the lights at? I want to see it over there. I want to see what it looks like. How do you think people would go over there and do that. No, they're going to push me out of the booth. I can't wait to go to these expos. I want to have a ball in there. I bet you $100 nobody won't be near our booth. I bet you. We'll probably have TVs most likely, which will be fun. I hope we get TVs. TVs would be fun to do. As a matter of fact, I got a demonstration. I told you a 32-inch TV. And I want to take it out of the box. I'm going to coat the box with our technology and use our technology to match the TV. We'll put a challenge on that one. Easy McCheesy. TCL 4K demonstrations. Easy McCheesy. Let's get this one right here. So, it shows at the end of the day that the ultimate, what's it called? I forget the name of it. ILEG, Infusion Light Energy Gain, Ultimate Black Cinematic is one of the best screen paints on the market. Now, we don't have to prove this, do we? Do I have to get out my debit card and get the shopping? Do I really need to bring your screen in here to show that your screen will not match against this technology? Because I will, you know I will. I'm that type of person. I'll do it. I'll go, matter of fact, we got an account sitting right on top of eBay right now, waiting to be activated. If I activate that account, I can literally shut down eBay. And that whole entire section, there's nothing that matches this technology in that level. Nothing. In fact, there's nothing that can match the screen paint, the technology we have that absorbs sunlight. That's the most powerful ambient light projection technology right now on the market. So, any company, anybody, I don't care who you are, if you feel that your product can compete with this black technology, you let me know, I'll come buy from you. I bet you're going to get any takers. Now, you see how a person just left the room? You know why? There's a people make screen paint products. Because they know at the end of the day that Mr. Bird speaks the truth. Talk on camera is cheap, okay? Got to be to back it up, gentlemen. When I come on here, I always show comparisons, demonstrations, certifies, the whole 9 yards, right? I back up everything I do. If I say I'm going to be outside, I'm outside, right? Where are you guys at? Inside, right? Doing demonstrations in the dark. You can even match the demonstrations I do in this environment. So with that being said, you are the only ones to get bothered by these demonstrations that I do. Now, back it up or pack it up. I don't care how you do it. Back it up. And I'm not talking about the people. They're out of business. Partake, out of business. Jamie, out of business. I'm talking about other individuals that we were able to find. We're looking for you at the end of the day. Look, somebody got mad about that, about me. Said, well, let me show you something. In the day, you said that he still sells screen paint. Show me where. Because there's no website. There's nothing there. Delusion of grandeur. That's what you have at the end of the day. What are you mad about at the end of the day? I've been here longer than most of you had your YouTube channels at the end of the day. So that tells you at the end of the day that we know more. And I know for a fact that the people that are in the room right now are people who basically supported these paints. How's that working out for you right now? You ripped off a lot of your customers. You lied to them. And pretty soon you'll be sitting up in a courtroom in front of a judge and our attorneys trying to figure out how to get out of that mess. Mind you, it's a federal court case. It's going to be a federal court case. It involves mass fraud, which means it can carry a maximum sentence to 30 years in prison if you cannot prove that your product did something special as you claimed you did on camera. And that refusal box down there, that's going to be a nightmare for you in court. So you're mad at the end of the day because you got outed. You're mad at the end of the day because your product don't sell anymore. You're mad at the end of the day because it didn't go where you wanted it to go because you can continue to rip people off. You're mad because you can't scam anymore. So you don't want to sign my contract that states that you said I'm a scammer, right? Let's go to court over it. But you don't want to sign that one. And you don't want to sign the contract saying, let's challenge your company in court. So how you want it, Barbie? How you want it? You don't want to sign contracts in the day. You don't want to go to court, but you want to claim your product this, that, and the other. Not going to work that way. See, words can get you hurt at the end of the day. And they can get you hurt in that courtroom, and that's where you're going to go. So that's my message to you people who make these fake phony products at the end of the day. Yeah, we're going to go through your PayPal accounts, we're going to go through your banking accounts, we're going to go through everything and find out exactly how much of this stuff you sold to customers that were rip-offs. And that's what you did. You ripped a lot of customers off. Just like when you got companies out there saying that, hey, this white projection screen is going to give you the advancement that it's a lie. That's a bone-faced lie. There's no way in the world that's going to happen. Customers are going to get home, they're going to get ripped off. And as you can see, customers, how frustrated and upset they get at the end of the day. We ask them certain questions to do tests, to do challenges, and they don't want to do it. It shows you on how badly they were ripping you off. Now, consider the fact, how much paint that guy sold out to churches, schools, and that stuff was just nothing more than just black and white paint. So for you people who supported that nonsense and you feel all frustrated about that, think about the individuals who got ripped off, the newbies who first started in the field of home theater and got ripped off on some everyday black and white paint. I was telling a friend about that. He was like, wait, you gotta be kidding me. Like, he did what? I said, yeah, the paint we got, we showed him the videos and stuff. He said, oh yeah, this has got to go to court. That's mass fraud. And mind you, involving mass fraud means there were individuals also involved helping him with this mass fraud. And we have your information, which will be fed to these particular agencies so they can begin the process of investigation on exactly what you had to do with this whole entire ring of mass fraud that was going on with these screen paint products, which means that your names did come up. So, if you did basically do promotion videos for this guy, knowing what he was making and what he was selling, you're part of that. It's not just him. I don't want you to get that wrong. It's not just him. There were other people involved in that mess. Oh, we just did lights on that fast, didn't we? Didn't even notice the screen was doing such an amazing job. And then they get frustrated at me at the end of the day. So, wow, it's going to be interesting. Watch this. Oh, that one. That one. I don't want to do 15. I want to do 5. I'll do 5. I'll do 5. There we go. Now, customers, yeah, you've been lied to. You have been lied to. So, up close, we're going to do some more up close and personal demonstrations, but that's for the customers, so they can see exactly what they're getting. Now, like I said, to any one of you screen paint makers or projection screens feel that Mr. Bird is telling lies on camera, sign my $1 million contract, I'll see you in court. If you want to say my product is not, it doesn't exist. It's going to be a really hard time with that. You know that the more we branch out, the more we expand out here, we expand everywhere online, that's going to be a really hard claim to make. It's going to cost you a lot of money. Now, with that being said, yeah, I'm challenging you. I'm challenging you on your products. You've been lying to customers. If you told your customers you're reading a black level, how is that possible if your screen's gray or white? How does that work? How are we reading a black level? Where are we getting it from? Same question I asked you in court. Same thing I asked you on YouTube. Where are we getting this color from? Where are we getting the contrast? Where's the contrast coming from? If you say it's come from the projector, then wouldn't that mean that the more money we spend on the projector, the better the contrast level, which means it's going to cost me more money. So you're going to tell me that a projector of 4,000 to 1 contrast versus a projector of 2 million to 1, they're both going to produce the same thing on the gray screen? I don't think so. You bring an expert for that. I'll bring in a projector expert for that. So, how do we fix this mess? Well, this is how we fix it. Either you tell the truth and go on there and say, well, look, my product brings up a fair contrast, has to be an ambient light controlled environment, and you tell the truth on what your product really does, that'll keep you out of the hot seat. If you go on and you lie, at the end of the day, we'll find you, we'll prosecute you, and I'll put you out there for the world to see. That's what's wrong with the projector industry now. All these fake knockoff projectors flooding the system, people making fake products. These companies now with these fake phony machines are making these fake screens to go with them. I told you that was going to happen. Yeah, people spending $1,500, $1,600 on a setup that won't even work correctly. And meanwhile, you guys are lining your pockets with their money and you're not giving them what they paid for. So, we'll take you to court. Every single one of you. And it has nothing to do with hatred. Nothing at all, period. I like what I do. This is my art. This is my passion at the end of the day. You're tainting my passion. So, that means that now we pointed our cannon in your direction. And you see what happens when we point our cannons in people's direction. It doesn't go well for them. Cancellations, companies going out of business, it doesn't go well. So, tell the truth or basically get crushed in court. Till then, customer deserves to get what they paid for. And if you feel, and any day of the week, any day, I don't care. You got my email, my phone, or all that stuff's up there. You contact Mr. Bird. You sign my $1 million contract. I'll see you in court. You prepare, you will get crushed. Now, why they want to do it? I'll tell you why. They're in these dark environments trying to prove their stuff working. I'm in here at 24,000 in my ceiling doing this. That's why. And if you see somebody jump in the Grand Canyon, and you see them watch them do it over and over again, is that the person you really want to challenge on jumping the Grand Canyon when you can't? Because you know they can jump it. Big question is, can you? You can't operate in this environment. I know, I tested all your stuff. I did the South Side, you know that? I had 300 lumens, I did the South Side. Now, for those of you people think of today, oh, it's just screen. No, it's everybody. Everybody on YouTube. Every single person on YouTube that makes a projection screen or screen paint, it's you. The ones we don't like the most are the ambient light projection physical screens. You know why we don't like you? You're liars. You know why you're a liar? Because you claim to have an ambient light projection technology, but most of the video is spent in the dark. Why is most of the video spent in the dark? Because you got a gray screen, and a gray screen can't read contrast or color. So that way you have to be in a darker environment to try to improve those levels. On top of that, with the calibrating and high power projector, you got to stick on that thing. But it's an ambient light projection technology, which means you should be in the same amount of lighting I'm in right now, doing this. With your colors all intact. But you can't do that. That's why when I watched that demonstration, I watched it with all the lights on, but the minute the screen came on, where did the lights go? Oh, they disappeared. Then how's that an ambient light projection screen? Well, I can't wait till we start that segment. What is real ambient light projection technology? You're talking to experts in ambient light projection technology. Yeah, good luck with that when somebody can eat sunlight. That's going to be an awful one for you in court. Well, how do you make you guys experts? We eat sunlight, by the way. There's demonstrations, dozens of demonstrations that be going all around Allentown with a 300 lumen projector. You know how bad that looks for you? You're inside at 3,000 and we're outside at 300? Yeah, good luck with that one. That's not going to go well. So yeah, we're challenging you. It's about time somebody did it. That's why I respect Epson. And I got so much respect for Epson. Because Epson went out and challenged those companies. That's why I have so much respect for them. Everybody else just basically turned a blind eye because everybody else was riding that gravy train. But not Epson. Epson went out there and challenged them. I respect companies who do that. And that's what have happened. If more of these companies like Optima and LG and Samsung, more of these companies would have went out and challenged these fake projectors, at the end of the day, took them to court, you wouldn't have that many flood in the market. So that's the problem you have with screen paints now, projector screens. All these fake gray screens out there claiming to have ambient light projection, poorly made paints, no batch number verification, no testing, nothing whatsoever. Just flooding the market with this mess. We plan to put an end to it. And that's everything down from transparent projection screens, acoustic screens, the whole freaking 9 yards. And for the big companies out there, you can't be bought. I don't believe in that. So you can make all the statements about Mr. Bird's product all you want. We don't care. We'll just drag you in court and challenge you. You made a statement about my technology, and you back it up. Because these lawsuits can run anywhere from $1 million to $100 million in court. They get pretty brutal. I like this. I like challenge. This is what I like at the end of the day. This is what excites me at the end of the day. You guys are cowards in the day. You know why we call you cowards? You hide in these little tiny dark environments with these high-powered machines trying to make yourself like something that is not. Like the guy who sat there and cried on a freaking container telling us it's not ambient light projection. Well, you got on camera, you talked a whole lot of trash, right? So I'm going to bring you the same environment our screens have to operate in. Crying will not get you anywhere. It's not ambient light projection. I read that, I was like, you got to be kidding me. He literally broke this on the container? After talking all this trash that he's ambient light projecting computer screens any day of the week? And you wrote that on a container? I'm going to put that on a frame. I explain to people what that stands for. I had a guy on YouTube. They're not in business anymore. Actually, I did frame his the picture where it shows his business is disconnected. And that's the shortest demonstration I've seen in my entire life. I framed his disconnection from the Wix server. This is another famous one they do in the dark. Oh, I hate these demonstrations. People never do their work right correctly. Oh, period. How do you guys do? How do you work jobs? That's what I'm curious about. How do you work jobs? You do 100% at your job, or you cut corners at your job? I don't know what's worse, the white screen or the gray screen. The gray screen lies, the white screen lies. They both lie. The gray screen promises you 100% contrast, lie. It does have better color than the white screen. It has better contrast. But it's still in the same boat. They both have to be in the dark in order to produce. Oh, no, that can't be the full demonstration. Heck no. There's no way in the world was that full demonstration. Let me see. Oh, it is traveling that fast. Jeez. Yeah, they both lie. Contrast, special mixes, bunch of bull crap at the end of the day. Bunch of hokey pokey shenanigans. Promise you that them gray mixes, all of them look exactly the same. And guess what, Fernando? If the judge ever asks me, what is my field in gray screen paint? Buckle up, buddy boy, because man, my freaking experience in gray paint goes back way farther than yours. Mind you, I was here first. So I know more about great products than you will ever know. Mind you, what is my experience? What is my success in great products? Much higher than yours. My products sold for more, I have much more beta testers, much more customers, and my stuff was globally contracted. Yeah. There's a bee in your bonnet. So that means I would have more experience in gray than you would. And I can tell you hands down, I can tell you 74 ways from Sunday on how to make that stuff. So many different ways to make it. It's not even funny. That's why if I look at your paint and you have it in the demonstration, your environment just told me how your stuff is made. You know that? Because I've seen tons and tons of demonstrations and types of form sites. I've been here for a while, mind you. And I've seen the lighting that they have environments for certain types of paints. So you already told me how your stuff is made by your environment. So if I get it here and I take basic black and white paint and it mimics your stuff in the same exact environment, you already told me, I already understand your stuff. That's why when you saw me take the Sherman-Williams and pop the top was the first thing I said. In the beginning of the video I said, well, we don't know if this is going to match 100%. But when I popped that top and saw that color tone, I was like, oh, this is not good. This is not, it's going to match his stuff. And it did, it matched. Before I painted it down, I called it. It matched. And a couple other stuff matched too, but you'd be pretty freaked out to find out. Some stuff we found out that matched. You know shoe polish, gray shoe polish matched also too? Gray freaking shoe polish. Yeah. Mind you, you just watch my cat blanket. A 2-year-old blanket he beats the crap out of every day. You watch a cat, a raggedy cat blanket blend into that screen paint. And some of you sat there and paid how much for that paint? This is why before you buy screen paint, even mine, before you buy mine, you look for testing. You make sure that product is tested. Make sure you go to the website, make sure you go to the YouTube channel, make sure it's tested. That means everybody who purchased that paint, my cat's $3.75 blanket does the same thing your screen does on your wall. That's why batch numbers are important. That's why testing is important. Batch numbers are important. Number one, it guarantees the customer that their product works before it's sent to you. Extremely important that you have that. Not just everything with batch number. It would be so much easier, I swear it would be. They can't do a batch number unless they do tests. Batch numbers don't work unless you do tests. You actually have to test your product in order to do a batch number. Testing is important. Why? That's what makes your specification sheet. That's why you can say things that are truthfully on the specification sheet, like that gain range nonsense. Now, if he actually had a video showing this gain range actually existing, he can literally put this on his specification sheet as being truthful. Which means if a customer had to send an item back to him, he could back this gain range. At the end of the day, because he has test proven it, backing it, he has videos backing it, he's good to go. No one can challenge him in court because he can prove this. You can't just make stuff up. He's also being challenged in court on that mess. Now, those of you who made statements that you said our technology came out too dark, these lawsuits just jumped. They're not asking for $1 million. They want 10. This is going to be bad for you, extremely bad, because we know 100% our technology can be backed anywhere on the face of the planet. And with that being said, the lawsuits are going to start jumping. Depending who has what, is what they're going to get you with. And they are going to request for some type of prison time. That's why they're taking it to federal. Because in federal, we can get you 30 years or more. I'm happy with 1 year. You get 1 year in jail, that's enough to curb you and teach you some things. Next time you'll learn at the end of the day what you don't do. Go online. Your mother teach you never lie? Your mother teach you that, right? Your mother and father teach you don't lie comes with consequences in life. They taught you that, right? So as an adult, when you walk into that courtroom, you know the difference between right and wrong. So if you went out and you spread a false rumor that you said that our products did such and such, so as if you do any other company, you spread a false rumor, there's consequences behind that. Now, when we go to court and we sue you and we win, the judge is going to request from us, do we like to pursue criminal charges? And we are going to say yes. And this is where you're going to have your problems at. Because we're going to pursue criminal charges in all cases. We have to use you as an example to make sure that other people who feel the need to do this, they can see the consequences that come at hand. So those of you who made these statements, those of you who feel that your videos are deleted and gone, I'm here to tell you we got your stuff. Your stuff was duplicated a long time ago. We've been building the case on you for quite some time. For this day. It's time to pay now. Anything you do in life, remind you, I told you how it works. You got to pay for it. Either here or in the next life, you got to pay. If I went out and committed my crimes and I died, guess what? I pay for it in the next life. If I'm here on this earth, I paid for it in this life. I paid my time. Now you got to pay yours. It's only fair, right? Right. Meanwhile, I've got demonstrations to do. I got more people coming in to check out the technology. What you see the showroom on the screen's going to be on a 1,000-inch screen. It's going to be you know why we have it on a screen? Because we have multiple projectors running through it. We do a multi-screen display to show that our screen runs every type of projector, except for knockoff. We can't run that stuff. It won't work. But I did find out that the invisible technology behind us will run a knockoff projector. It's crazy, it does. It'll run off a valve projector, or it'll run it. It'll definitely run it. Which I couldn't see why it wouldn't do it, but it definitely runs it. So the clear ones we have, these are the screens that are going to be coming out, the ones that you can project and have that kind of front projection, invisible technology like the LG has. We got one we're engineering for that. And it reads off that projector because my friend has a valve projector and he was like, oh, crap, it runs. I was like, it runs. I couldn't see why it wouldn't, because the blacker screens have that, they conflict with it. Well, we figured out how to get one to run. So that pretty much opens up the door for a lot of people who bought those projectors and they realize they can't do much with them. Now you can. So that technology does it. So that'll be interesting. Now I can't tell you how those screens are built. It's a special screen we're building. We can't tell you how it's built, but I can tell you one thing. You are going to receive 100% contrast out of it, even if it's invisible. It is the most craziest thing you'll ever see in your entire life. So there's hope for people who bought those valve-up projectors and you couldn't return them, you can't get your money back on, you're stuck with it. And here, I can understand you don't want to go out and spend additional more money for a projector after you bought one already. So this will help you out. Loving it like technology. I got to do paint-on demonstrations with this thing. So I'm not doing the paint-on demonstrations. One of the nephews is going to do it. They got some kids. They might have kids. Anyway, they're going to do it. So the spokesperson, the kid's going to be painting the screen in. He's no more than probably about 8 years old. He's going to paint his own screen in, have his long johns on and everything, with our company's logos all over it. Going to paint the screen. Because it's so easy, a kid can paint it. Then all up, down, over, light roll, heavy roll, start from the middle, go from the top, start from the middle, left, right, over. I'm about to do some kind of Naruto kind of bending spell or whatever. I ain't doing all that. You crazy? I read through that freaking specification sheet like, you crazy? You think I'm doing all that work? Oh, heck no. You see the sides of some of my screens? There is no way in the world. That's a headache for a 100-inch screen. I couldn't imagine doing that at 130 or 120, 130, 150, 250 inches. You know, how big a 250-inch screen is, and you got to go through that part. No. If you notice, when they do paints, they don't go past, the highest they go is 120. They don't do 150s, 160s, 180s. You ever notice that? In any of the screen paints. If you ever notice, they don't go anywhere near past that certain mark. Because it's a comfort mark. 120-inch screen is an easy screen to paint. You never hear them talk about 235, 239.1, 1610s. None of them. They don't discuss them. And they never discuss screens at a size at 150, 140s, 160s, 170s, 80s, 200, 250, 300. They don't discuss none of those screens at all. Yeah, you didn't pick up on that. A lot of people in the forum sites picked up on it when they went to their sites. They're like, how come they only offer 1 and 2 quarts? They don't do gallons. Maybe because they can't do the breakdown. You have to basically, it's not just basic simple fractions, it's pretty much it. You just learn to do the breakdown, that's basically about it. But I've never seen them do gallons before. There could be an issue with the paint having problems. I can't see how Crow would have a problem with his paints, because they're regular house paints. I don't see where that would have a problem with expanding to 150 inches. I don't see where that would have an issue. His paint, on the other hand, I can see that happening, because his paint had all kinds of problems with it. And you saw, well, you can see it on the blacklist. If you saw the demonstration when he's painting the screen down, he was rolling over the same surface, counted somewhere 15, 16, 17 times. Why would you have to roll over a surface that many times? Because it wasn't taken well. It was streaking the screen. His own product was streaking like crazy. And it was changing colors. That's one of the things we picked up on it. So, keeping it to a smaller screen, you would have a better chance of painting the screen. A much larger screen would show 10 times more imperfections. Mind you, you have to roll over a surface, count over 15 to 20 passovers. Imagine what that's going to happen when you're doing a screen at 180 inches. It'll take you forever to paint that screen. Which really shouldn't have taken that long to do a 100-inch screen. That should have been an easy screen to knock out. Pop, 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 done. So that's one of the things that came up in the forum site. Like, why is he passing back over the screen multiple times? Because the paint wasn't taken well, that's why. It was streaking like crazy. You can see it on camera. Ah, look how amazing our product looks. Boom! What video was this? What's the TLCs? Oh, we got to do some up close and personal on this. We're about to do some gray versus our technology up close and personal 300 lumens. Let's set that up right now. I'm going to do one of those. We'll get the CUNY projector out. Boom. Set it up. Do our gray versus. I'm going to do a little topic on that. I don't want to go over too much time on this video because it's about how white screens will pick up. Next demonstration. Up close and personal. Gray screen versus our black technology, which we call the refusal. Yeah, we're going to do the refusal. I can't wait till the blue screen products get in here because we get more weight for those. We'll get weight for that. Basically, all we get on this is just basically upsetting the internet trolls at the end of the day. They get all bitter about that. They don't want to get upset about that, but we don't get no credibility for that. We bring it to a forum saying, like, man, get that house paint out of here. That's pretty much what we're told. So we got to bring something that has more weight. Like blue screen has weight. You know, we can take that in and do side-by-side tests on forum sites. We get credibility for that. We bring this stuff in here. They know there's so much scans behind this paint. They're going to go get that house paint out of here. But we come on here and do it because we like to basically out the trolls as much as we possibly can. Trolls, got one for you. When I do this demonstration, you can take me to court on it. All right? I want you to draw some documents up, take me to court on this demonstration I'm about to do. I'm going to challenge you on that, to take me to court on this video I'm about to do. Now, mind, you can't back that up. It's going to cost you a lot of money. You know that, right? All right. Let's see if we can put your money where your mouth is at. Coming back in. Be back.